If you are new here, my name is LittleBoyOfHope. I was able to reach Diamond 4 in the preseason of 10, have been coaching League part-time for a couple of years, and I create beginner-friendly League of Legends content here on YouTube. Subscribe right now and turn on the notifications if you're looking for more beginner League of Legends content to help you get to your next level. Hey benzamin, today we're going to be reviewing your Garen top gameplay. You want to learn top lane, you play ADC and support, but you're starting to learn mid and top and you want coaching in Garen top. You want to know what you did wrong and how you can do better. You're level 1 or 7, you've been playing for a while, ever since 2013. You're a fast learner, you tilt easily, especially when getting flamed, and gives up easily once flamed. You want full honesty and no sugarcoating, and that's totally fine. First thing we want to notice here is we want to pan our camera down bot side, and we want to see that Diana and them are here ready, since our team is invading. What this does for us is it lets us know the way Diana is actually pathing, and so we know that what Diana is most likely to do is blue, gromp, red, top, or mid. Mostly around 245 to 303 is when she's going to be there, so that's one of the first big things that we want to notice. Getting into the laning phase here, we don't want to use our Q here because we want to save our Q to harass. We want to auto push and shove for level 2. And right now, when his Q is on cooldown like this, we're letting him free farm over here. His Q is on cooldown for another 5 seconds. Yours is still up, but we're not looking to deny him this minion at all. We're only focusing on this minion, so that's the wrong thing to do. You always want to play to put this laner behind and to get ahead as far as you can. That way you can make the most impact on the map as much as possible. And so playing this way just puts you behind and also puts him back into the game. He recklessly uses Q to try to trade with you. And I think he did hit, I'm not 100% sure, but this is like a free chance to trade back with him. And we're not doing it right now. So look how he just gets this minion for free. So he gets the 1-2 minions for free, and he gets traded back for her. He gets 1 auto back harass, but that's not most optimal. But then at the same time here, let's go back a little bit here. There is a slight mistake here. So right here we trade with them, but then our Q is on cooldown, so we back off, and that's understandable. But then right here, this minion's gonna die, and we're gonna give this minion to him for free. Should always look to trade damage, especially because we know his Q is on cooldown from because he just recently used it, right? I'm just clicking this to ensure that we see that his Q is on cooldown. And then also, like, we give this to him for free. But what we don't notice, what we fail to notice here is that to get level 2, it's always the first minion on the second wave. And so as soon as this minion dies, you're going to outtrade this Mordekaiser. You're going to be level 2. Mordekaiser's still going to be level 1. Because he still has like 1, 2, 3 mage minions from the last wave left. As soon as he autos this, you auto this. And then you go in for the level 2 trade. So like right when he autos that, you auto this. And then you can QE trade onto him and chunk him off to half HP. Even here would have been fine if you would still traded with him. But you opted not to trade with him still. And so you're level 2, you have 2 abilities, he has 1 ability, which is on cooldown, and then you just take harass for free and back off. So you're really throwing a big opportunity here by not playing to your level 2 power spike. You get the last hit, see how he looks to pull you? See how this Mordekaiser looks to pull you when you go for the last hit? That's what I want you to do back to him. Right, so Mordekaiser waits until you CS this minion, and as soon as you go up to CS it, he trades with you. So as soon as you CS this, he EQs you. You look to CS, he EQs, and he gets it on you because you're focusing on the minion. Of course you outtrade him because you deal more DPS than him early. But it would be more optimal if it was the other way around, because then it would be easier for you to land your combos on him. And you would lose more HP, and you would lose less HP, so you would just like basically outtrade him. Also, we're still playing passive here when we have the HP advantage. Whenever we have HP advantage, mana advantage, resource advantage on any champion in League of Legends, we always look to bully. When he's trying to take this minion right here, I want you to go in for the harass. You dash a Q instead, which is totally fine. Right here is perfect. As he was going for that minion, you look for the trade, which is perfect. And see how big the difference here is. You're still giving him a lot of space here. Also, around like 245 to 330, you want to be mindful of the Diana gank. So the one way I always look at it is like around 245, 230 to 330, I always play a little bit more passive. And I always look on the jungle before, like on the map before I do anything. So like the one way I look at it is like, which side did Diana start on? If she started top side and Mordekaiser came to lane late, then she would probably be bot side. But we did see that our team invaded early and we knew exactly where Diana was. So Diana should have been done blue, into woods, into red, and then topside by now. But she's not here yet, 323. So the way we look at it is, this is how you predict a jungler ganking you. Orianna is backing right now, so can Diana gank Orianna at this time? Sure, maybe. She can probably walk up for a dive from behind, but that's like very ballsy. What about our bot side? Yes, bot side is very susceptible to gank right now too, so Diana could be bot side or top side, but which side did she start on? So Diana started on this side because we saw the invade, so she should have gone boom, 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 and then either gone mid or bot. So assuming she's not bot yet or not top yet, we just play like she's top side, right? Because most likely what's gonna happen is Diana goes blue, romp, here, and the top side. So that's the how you decipher where the jungler is. And then every time like he CS's like this, you want to go in for a trade. But also, I think we still have our ward up that we haven't dropped yet too, so we can definitely always drop our ward here. Just like either right here is fine, right here is fine, or like right here is fine. Either way, but for me, I would just drop it right here because there's a chance she can either come from like here, and then your ward slightly just like misses her or a little bit too late, or she can come from here, and then, or she comes from up here, and if you ward over here, then this just doesn't see her. If you ward here, she probably comes from over here, and you just don't see her in time, like right when she pops out of that time frame. And so right here and here would be like two, it would be okay. This one would be okay, I would say. This one over here would be a little bit risky, and then this one right here would probably be the most safest. But like when you're winning lane like this, you always want to drop a ward too, like around 230. You always want to drop around 230 because then you actually know and have vision, and that way before you trade every time, you can like go like, do I want to like harass him or do I want to CS? Like, and every time you CS, look on the map. Every time you look for a trade, look on the map. Is it safe for me to trade? Okay, go in and trade. Is it safe for me to CS? Okay, go in and CS. Always, always, because what junglers want to do is they want to wait until you CS and then go in on you. Good junglers at least do that. Good juke on the E here. And see how we don't see Diana coming up at all? And we also burn a flash for this as well. And I definitely would not trade in this wave at all. The reason why I don't trade in this wave is because we don't really have a wave to trade in, right? If we had like 2-3 waves, minion waves, boom, we would look for the trade, right? But here, instead of going on Mordekaiser already misses E, so you really have no threat here. So all you do is Q Diana and E out and trade out into your minion wave, and then you can debate on flashing out if necessary. So now we burn a flash, which is like unnecessary. When we should have just played safe, and we already knew the wave was already pushing to us anyways, and we already knew that very high chance of Diana being top side or bot side. So like right here, I definitely would not push out the wave. I would just pull it, because one reason why, when we push out the wave, if Mordekaiser is over here, and then you can't really gank him. If Mordekaiser's over here, then you have Volibear here. After Volibear finishes two camps, he can rotate topside and gank. And so that's what I would recommend you do, is instead of pushing the wave, just freeze the wave. Right now I'm just pointing out a whole bunch of things because you said you wanted to learn new things and pick up new things. If it was up to me, or if you're talking about how to most optimally improve, I would work on maybe just warding around 230 for your jungler this game. That would have been very, very helpful. Also being more aggressive versus the Mordekaiser, because you're playing like you're losing when you're actually winning. So like right here, it would be most optimal to freeze the lane and wave and deny him. Because every time, like, we can deny him right now, but we're just queuing on the wave. So I would say like the most optimal thing for you to learn in the laning phase right now is to just learn to trade more often instead of going even, because right now all you're doing is going even. He's just using all his abilities on the wave, and you're not abusing him at all for doing that. So the biggest thing for you to improve, if you want to, is to just instead of using your abilities on minions, use it more on the enemy champion and look for trades. It's like your level 6 is coming up soon, and if you do that more, you're gonna be able to kill the Mordekaiser a lot easier. See right here, you never want to give him free trade. Your Q and E's both up, you should have just went in and traded. So you trade on him when your Canyon minion is about to die, which is kind of poor because you really want the gold from the Canyon minion. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself behind. His Q is on cooldown. Now would be a good time to trade. Very nice. We should also E-spin out as well. Would have been fine. But you did W out. He only autoed you. And his Q was on cooldown, so he couldn't trade back with you. So you won the trade regardless. Pretty good all-in here. Garen has a very strong all-in with Ignite, so at level 6, post 6, so that was a good all-in. So now we start to get ahead, but we're slow pushing this wave. What we should really be doing is just pushing this wave out as fast as possible, along with this next wave here. And so we took our time to do that, and Mordekaiser comes back and catches the wave. I think we could have pushed that out a lot faster. Also, the first buy here, we go for Merc Treads instead. We should probably opt for Berserker Grease. Berserker Grease provides Garen with like more spins on his E, more damage, also stacks Conqueror more, and so you're also a little bit tankier due to Conqueror as well. I understand the Merc Tread buy though because it's a Mordekaiser and Diana. But typically we only buy Merc Tread for heavy CC team comps, and they don't really have that much CC. The only CC they really have is Mordekaiser Pull, which isn't that we don't really need Merc Treads for that. And then Diana's ultimate, no, not Diana's ultimate. They switch her abilities, so it's like Diana's W, I believe. And then Yone R, and then Senna W, and Senna Slow. But other than that, you don't really need Merc Treads. Berserker Greaves would be a lot better here. See how you don't even take damage from these guys? So like if you had Berserker Greaves here, you probably could have killed both of these guys. No, we don't get the kill on Mordekaiser either, so that little bit of damage there could have been from Berserker Greaves. Also, I think you also flash way too early. So like you press Q and then you flash, which is really unfortunate. You should have just pressed Q, use the movement speed to get the kill, and then if he goes behind the minion, you could flash behind the turret to kill him. But you Q and flash at the same time, so you kind of just waste your Q movement speed. What we want to do now is we want to work to deny this guy's CS. Let's see how we play this lane out. We're 2-0, we have the item lead around him, and we have about a 1,200 gold lead on this guy. Yet we're playing very passive, like as if we're still even, and we're not harassing him still. We also don't know where the jungler is or where the last time the jungler showed. So we just play this the same time we played the last one, right? So can the jungler gank mid lane? Most likely not. Can the jungler gank bot lane? Yes. Our jungler is also down there as well. So we could choose to play passive here if we wanted to. The real issue here is we just don't know where Diana is. And the scariest thing is he has that ward there, so that's a little bit dangerous. As soon as we get pulled in here, he already used his combo, so why not trade with him? His abilities are on cooldown, why not just trade with him? Every time he's using his Q on minions like this, but we don't look to harass at all. See how we're playing like we're losing when we're ahead? We should look to ward here and take out the control ward. That's good. And I'm not sure if you have a ward or not, but maybe that would have been a good ward. Or you don't have a ward, okay. So we want to just pan our camera bot side because all we're looking for here is opportunity to kill Mordekaiser. We want to know exactly where Diana is before we can kill Mordekaiser. See how this guy's using his E, his Q on the whole wave, but we're not harassing him at all. Also, look, every time we go for a CS or a minion, Diana just popped out bot just like 1 second ago. If we could see that where Diana is, we can confirm that it's okay for us to start trading and harassing the Mordekaiser, right? So every time we go in for a trade, every time we go for a CS, we look on the map. So like right here, we want to get this minion, we look for it on the map. Right, and as soon as we looked on the map, we would see Diana right here. We don't even have to pan our camera, we could see Diana, and boom, that confirms it. Yone is mid lane, Diana's bot side, and Lucian just died bot, and Lucian's still dead, and Senna was just bot side anyway, so we don't have to be afraid of anyone. This is how you snowball your lead and how you can play more aggressive without being too scared. and pushing your lead in this elo. Let's see here. So yeah, his abilities are on cooldown and we're just not making use of it. So the biggest thing for you to improve, I'm just pointing out a whole bunch of things, but the biggest things for you to focus on improving right now is when their abilities go on cooldown, make sure you look for harass/trade, because then they can't deal as much damage back to you. Also, focus on those cannon minions, and whenever they go for these minions, make sure you harass them back. See how his Q's on cooldown, but we're not looking to trade at all, and we're still focused on CSing only. We also have the level 11 lead here, but we don't do anything with it. So we have 2 points into R, while Mordekaiser has 1 point into R, and we're still playing very, very passive. This is a huge power spike for us. We're just not utilizing it. We also have, at this point, a pretty good, like, 1,200 gold lead still over him, and we're just letting this guy farm into the game. And we look to harass him, which is totally fine. We out-trade him, but it's just not optimal, right? Because we push this wave back into him, into his turret, and make it harder for us to kill him by doing this, whereas if we have the wave over here, it's easier for us to kill him. Also, we harass him when he's not focusing on minions, so we don't chunk him out as much. If we wait for him to hit the minion first and then harass him, like I'll show you really quickly, we look to harass this guy when he's not even looking to CS, so he's already running away by the time we run at him. Whereas if we would have waited for him to CS something, we could have out-traded him even harder. So that's the biggest thing. The biggest two things is when they go harass minions, when they go say last hit minions, we look to harass. When their abilities are on cooldown, we look to trade. Those are the number 2 biggest things you can do to improve your gameplay and start winning lane a lot more often. As for like wave management and stuff and map awareness, jungle awareness, those are just little tips and tricks that I'm pointing out for you because you wanted to know extra things. You can work on those as well, but I don't really recommend working on them until like you rank up to like at least like high silver or low gold. Then those are going to be things that are going to help you out a lot. Even in bronze, those things are going to help you out, but it's just going to be so much for you to work on and focus at once. And so you always want to every game focus on one thing at a time. And I would say like in the laning phase for you to focus on looking at their abilities and cooldown, and whenever that's down on cooldown, we can look to trade and harass. And those would be the biggest things. Otherwise, I'm just talking about little things that do matter, but you don't necessarily have to. Also, the same mistake you made here that a few of the other Garens make as well. Another mistake you make here is whenever they have a huge wave like this, 2 to 3 minions, along with 2 enemy champions, you don't want to just walk in and do this, because what happens now is if they want to dive you, they can totally dive you. Because you're so low, I think they just don't dive you. But this is a totally diveable play if they wanted to. Mordekaiser could obviously just pull you out. They can poke you down and look for dives. And so it's just very dangerous for you to do that and clear out the wave. I understand you want to clear out the wave, but it's just not optimal. Also, look to the ward here, which is not necessary either. And then we waste that flash there again. So we wasted 2 flash. And so, meanwhile, we could have been really far ahead. We're really far behind. I mean, we're still ahead at this point of Mordekaiser, but we're just not totally snowballing the way we want to be. And our mid laner's inting and our bot laner's inting. So this game is like totally winnable if we would have just like used those two things I talked about, harassing and trading in lane. If we do those 2 things perfectly, we could probably be around like levels like 6-0 right now. Probably gotten taken our turret. Probably had pressure on Rift Turret as well at this point. See how strong we are? We out-trade the Mordekaiser so hard. And right here, we see 1, 2, 3 bot side. We should just look to take this. Mordekaiser just backed. Yone's mid as well, so we just keep pushing here. Mordekaiser's back here, so what we should do is probably just shove out this wave and look to go defend mid or go farm our jungle. Right here, I would opt out to defend mid side though, because we don't defend mid at all. Also, probably look to ward the Rift Shield here, because like Yone just went from mid and went top side, and so right here, even being right here is really risky for you, because like let's just say there's 2 options. Yone was mid, he could come here and take farm and then gank with Mordekaiser, or he could go here and take Rift. Right, and I think Rift just disappears right there. They don't show us though, but Rift seems like it disappeared on the map. And so right here, like this is very dangerous position. Actually, it's not at all. We have Volibear here, and we also have Diana here, so it's not dangerous at all. it's like okay to do this. I was just gonna say it's dangerous if Volibear wasn't here because your turret isn't down, and then we didn't have vision on Yone as well, but Yone's mid right now. And we also saw Diana over here just not too long ago. So it's fine because we have our Volibear with us. But notice what's happening, right? Because we didn't win lane too hard, because we played passive. This is already warded. We shouldn't even be standing here at this point, but because we didn't win lane as hard as we could have, now our whole team's struggling. Whereas if we were winning lane harder, our team probably wouldn't have to struggle so hard. Chase Diana, kill her, totally fine. Then we go kill Mordekaiser, which is fine. But that, by the time we take this turret, we could have defended mid. We could have defended Herald. We also, we could have had vision on Herald, and we could have pushed Yone off Herald as well. Our mid inhib could have still been up. But anyways, we get the turret. And we've already lost 2 dragons at this point, and then I believe we've already lost 2 dragons. So by the time we get our top turret, what I want to point out is it took us so long to get our top turret when we could have gotten it like super early, around like 15 minutes maybe, or even earlier, because we could have stomped on Mordekaiser and Diana both in lane by ourselves. We could have gotten this turret. We could have gotten Rift Herald, 2 Rift Heralds, and we could have saved this inhib from falling. We also could have gotten 1 or 2 dragons as well. But by the time everything happened, we got our top lane. We lost our turret. We lost 2 turrets mid. We lost bot turret. We also lost inhib. We also lost 2 rifts, and we also lost dragon as well. So that's a lot of objectives, where if we would have just played accordingly and used our mechanic whenever his ability is on cooldown, look for harass. Whenever he goes CS, look for harass. We could have like totally been winning this game. We could have been like 6-0, and we could be carrying this team by now, but we're not at this point because we just played way too passive in the laning phase against Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's not that dangerous when his Q is on cooldown. Same thing, like Caitlyn's not that dangerous when her Q is on cooldown. Ahri's not that dangerous when her Q is on cooldown. Darius is not that dangerous when his Q is on cooldown. Pretty much the gist of it. Also, when they go harass minions, you're not really in any danger. And then the biggest thing here I would say is like when you're coming back into lane, let's see. When you're coming back into lane, you can clear this. This is the most confusing part of the game. And so what you want to do here is look at the map. Where is the farm, right? So clear this out. There's a camp here. There's also a camp here. There's also a camp here. Look to go to these camps, or either go here and go split push top. Most likely not though, because this wave is pushing into them. Very overextended, but Scuttle is up, so you could look for Scuttle, or because Volibear was over here at the time, you could push mid and then go here, here, here. Those will be your options, and just always look to farm up while we're looking for team fights to certain objectives. Right here, we're not really doing anything much. We're just walking around doing nothing. Like, what objective are we fighting for right now? We're not fighting for any objective. And then we see the Orianna get caught here. We go in. We get a kill, which is good. As soon as we get this kill, we go bot side, right? Because we have a wave here. We go bot side, we take that turret. There's 2 here. They have to come to us. That's how we want to be thinking. And we don't push the bot side. What we do is we go down here and we look for kills. So we're looking for kills at this point when we're behind, which is kind of unfortunate. You don't want to look for kills when you're behind, or at least when your team is behind. Also, Yone is topside, so I understand wanting to fight that because Yone's 4-1 and Lucian's A4, and both their carries are dead, or Lucian's dead and Yone's topside. So I understand wanting to fight that fight, but why not just take this turret? And while you're taking this turret, they have to come to you, and then that's when you can fight them, right? You guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you just ping this and 5 of you guys went there, they would only have three players because Senna backed. They only have 3 players to defend that turret. And so, we actually, instead of taking that turret, we actually go mid and try to chase them down, and we just waste our time. Now the carry's back up again. The biggest issue I have with this team fight is we see Lucian get caught out. We try to catch him out, which makes sense, but Lucian still has flash, right? Obviously, this is like one of the very first team fights, and then everyone just gets killed because of that poor engage, right? So the easiest way for you to have known this is when you are fed, you always want to look to flank from behind. If your team is very weak, you want to play very passive and let the enemies play into us first. Let Yone ER into us first. Just let Diana and them engage on us first. QEWR on us first. Let Yone EQR on us first. I'll let these guys engage first, right? Because when they engage, you actually have the better chance of going in for the Lucian, whereas like you engage Lucian right here. Because you engage Lucian right here, everyone just focuses you and you die right away. right? Whereas if you let them engage, they focus on Samira and Orianna and Janna. Janna can ultimate them off your team, and you can actually hard engage on Lucian Senna and just get like a free double. So right here, the biggest thing we want to be careful of is them getting Baron. So we want to stick around, stay close to our team, and just look for that Baron fight and try to peel off of them. Also, be mindful that like because Samira's not here, we don't necessarily want to fight either. Yone comes out alone, so we get the pick and chunk him out, which is totally fine. We see Lucian behind us on the map here, but we don't aggress onto Lucian at all. So this is very poor play from you guys. And then your Samira just dies for no reason. And then maybe you try to find Lucian here, but you don't find him. Lucian dashes over, which is fine here. But like at this point, when your carry's dead, you really don't want to be looking for fights. However, we get a pick on the Diana here. We kill Diana, and that's fine too. The biggest issue here is that your carry is dead. I mean, Samira's not that strong anyways, but we just want to play more passive because they have Yone and Lucian up. They have 2 carries up, and we only have 1. This is actually a decent play by you, but Janna messed it up hardcore. Yeah, Janna messed that up hardcore. Janna pressed ultimate. Ooh, Samira engages on this one, and then you go in and you follow Samira. And then Volibear ults for no reason. Yeah, so as soon as this all happens right here, Volibear has no ultimate, Orianna's not there, we just back off right away. Janna's not there with her ultimate. Samira's dumb, goes in and engages by herself, and then you die because of that. No? You don't die? Okay, that's fine. It's good. At least we don't die here. So you're extremely low here. Volibear doesn't have ultimate. Orianna has ultimate, so the biggest part here is like your carry Samira is not with you. Also, like, you know, Samira is not really fed, so she's not really carry, but like it's just numbers advantage. So it's a 4 versus 4 at this point, but you're super low and you walk into a Lucian that's 10-5, Yone that's 5-1, and a Senna, which is Senna's really strong scaling into the game. She's already got her 2 core items too. So we go into this team being extremely low, trying to steal Dragon, and we don't get it. That's just really poor choice. And like, what did you expect your team was gonna do, right? There's not much your team could do. The only thing you could do is if Orianna put her ball on you, you run into the middle of their team, and then Orianna presses R. Volibear also didn't have R, so it was a very poor choice for you guys to try and steal Dragon there. You never want to, like, if you're trying to get better at the game, you don't want to like 50-50 and queen flip things. You always want it to be in your advantage. If things are not in your advantage, just back off. We're going for the engage here again, but let's take a look here. Where is our Samira at this point? Where is our Orianna at this point? Samira is still dead for 5 seconds, and Orianna is just coming. Boom, Janna goes down. Volibear goes down. And that's all because you engaged on him without your carries. Your carries are here, but now they don't have a front line because your team is dead because of the team fight that we engaged on. So you always want to wait for your carry, even if they're really weak. You always want to wait for the numbers advantage. And if you're not looking to team fight, like right there, instead of team fighting, you could have gone mid and taken mid. You could have gone top side and taken these jungles and gotten a lot stronger and become like a raid boss. Make it really hard for them to kill you. And then Volibear, Janna, and Orianna could just look to wave clear while Samira is spawning. She dives here, then this will be a good kill opportunity. Well done. Right after you win this fight, what you need to do is either ping Baron or ping mid turret. Because you don't ping, now let's just look what your team's doing. Your team's just backing. If we could have optimally gotten two. What could have happened here is we could have gotten this turret and this turret and this turret, or like taking these 2 turrets, and then when like they spawn off, Yone would try to fight you guys, and then you guys kill Yone again, right? Or Mordekaiser, and you just kill these guys as a team, and then you guys could have gone inhib, or you guys could have gone Baron, depending, right? It doesn't matter. You guys could have gotten 2 turrets and Baron before your teammates backed off immediately. So every time after you guys win a fight, I know because you're in bronze, what you want to do is just ping objectives, because people don't really know what they're doing at this stage of the game. If you ping something, people will most likely opt to go for it. So your whole team just backed. I know, even though they're low, but they shouldn't have backed. This is what I wanna see more from, is coming off from flanks like this. Flanks like this, just flanking them and fighting in numbers advantage, right? You guys were 5 versus 2. Now this is what we want to look for. Because it's in bronze elo, this is gonna happen a lot. Also, you always flash when you Q, which is a little unfortunate. You have Dead Man's Plate, you have Stridebreaker, why flash? Right, you just Stridebreaker in, Q in, and you just one-shot either the Diana or the Lucian, whatever you decide. Just choose a target and kill them. The Mordekaiser and Yone is dead on their team, but you guys are fighting a 3 versus 3. Why would you guys fight a 3 versus 3 when you guys could just wait for Samira and Orianna and just go to Elder Dragon and fight 5 versus 3 and secure Elder Dragon for an easy win? Why force these fights against a 14-8 Lucian, a 6-3 Senna, and with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items Senna has, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 items that Lucian has, right? It's just not worth it. It's not necessary. Why not 5 versus? Why not wait for 5 versus 3? Why force the 3 versus 3 when you have the chance? See how like Samira is inting, right? But Samira is still useful. She still one-shots a Diana. So notice how we lose that one fight right there, and because we lose that fight, now they just get a free Elder. Whereas if we just wait for a 5 versus 3, Samira's here. Samira can one-shot these guys just like how she one-shot Diana. Boom! Just like you guys could have like aced their team, and you guys could have gotten Elder and Baron all together. But because we're too greedy and we engage and we try to make picks and we try to fight 3v3 instead of 5v3, they just get a free dragon, Elder Dragon. When we're strong like this, we split push, we look to farm, and we look for flanks coming in from the back. We also let them engage us first so that we can engage their carries. Especially when we're fed like this, it's going to be much easier for you to kill the 16-8 Lucian, 6-3 Senna, 7-3 Yone, and then flank them from behind while they're trying to engage on your team. And that way you don't get focused by the whole team. See, like right here is a good flank, but I wouldn't commit to it. The reason why is because we know where everyone is at this point, right? So we see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is always something you can see by looking at the map. So one of the biggest things I say for mid game is that makes it confusing is people don't know where to go and people don't know what to do. So the easiest way for you to know where to go and what to do is by always looking on the map and pressing tab. Tab shows you who's strongest and who to focus in team fights, and who to be aware of in team fights, and looking at the map shows you where everyone is and lets you know what decision to make. And like for example, if you don't see everyone on the map, catching Lucian out here would be would be easy, right? But we know that everyone's mid side if we looked at the map, so probably just look on the map more. But we know that everyone's here. We know that they have Elder Dragon, so why did we do this, right? And right here they could have ended, they should have ended, but they just didn't. They got the inhib and they backed, which is really unfortunate for them. They also could have rotated bot side and taken that turret as well. They had the 5 versus 4, but they didn't opt out for that either. So they wasted like 2 minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes mid when they could have just gone bot and taken bot turret, or gone top and taken top turret. They still could go get Baron too because they still have Elder. See, so this is what happens. This is what I'm talking happens when you let them engage first. You play passive, you let them engage. Look at Lucian. Lucian wastes his R. Look at Yone. He wastes his R. Boom, you silence him. Kill him. See how much easier it is when you wait for them to engage you. Look at Samira. You fought with your carry Orianna and Samira for once in a fight. You fought with your both your carries for once in a fight. And then you guys just kill them. Your whole team is alive. 2 of them are dead. You guys transition, you guys get Baron, and you guys just end the game. Okay, yeah, you guys actually did that. Okay. We look for a fight here again, and notice how Samira is here. Samira kills Diana. Notice how Orianna's here. Orianna ultimate coming off clutch. You should have been right there. A little bit late, but it's fine. It works out. Notice how strong your team is when you guys are as 5. Right? I know your Samira's trolling. I know your Orianna's bad, but it doesn't matter. Your team synergy is just much stronger than theirs. And with your carries there, they're actually they actually don't have a strong front line compared to you guys. Catch out the Lucian here and kill him. Look at what happens when you fight with your mid and your ADC. Right, you guys literally had 2 to 3 fights that won you guys the game. And that's all because you guys grouped finally with your AD carry and your mid laner. Main lessons to go over is be more aggressive in lane. When they CS, chunk their HP. When their abilities are on CD, chunk them. When you're winning, don't play passive as if you're equal, especially when you have the gold advantage and item advantage. And for your mid to late game, look for objectives like dragons, turrets, barons, etc. and fight for those. Don't walk around aimlessly and don't fight for nothing. Don't just win a fight and then chase for more kills. Win a fight and then take something too. Take a turret nearby, take a dragon nearby, anything, any objectives, and make sure you ping your team because you're in bronze still. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. If you ping something, people will always be like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll listen to this guy because this guy pinged. He's also Garen. He's also 11-3, and so we'll follow him. Or he's 6-0. He's the one that's carrying us. We'll follow him. We'll follow his orders because it seems like he knows what he's doing, right? Also, don't fight without your carries. You guys fight so many fights without your carries. That makes this game so much harder for you guys. Every time you fought without the Samira or the Orianna, you guys, the tanks, your front line dies. And you guys also fight a numbers advantage, and you guys also fight at an equal numbers advantage, or equal numbers when you guys didn't have to. And so just wait for your carries is the main thing in the mid to late game, and then don't fight in numbers disadvantage too. And then the one thing to do, if there's nothing to do, if your team's not grouping up, just CS, just farm camps, farm side waves, and then when you see a fight's about to pop out or a good flank opportunity to come from behind, you come behind and you flank them. Or you just farm nearby and then group for fights, and then wait for them to engage. If you're losing the game, wait for the enemies to engage you, and then you can engage on the carries, right? Or if there's like a certain assassin like Yone or something like that, wait for that assassin to come forward and try to assassinate like your Samira or your Orianna or Janna, and then you silence him and you guys just one shot the assassin, and then you guys can fight a front and back 5 versus 4. And so, or like even Diana is an assassin as well. Chunk her out and silence her and kill her before she kills your carry, and then you guys fight a free 5 versus 4. And that's how you're going to be able to do a lot better in these games. If you have any questions about your VOD review, or any questions about future matchups, or how to improve, or what we went over today, feel free to just leave any of those questions below in the League of Legends text channel, and I can answer you there. Thanks for your time and your VOD review, and thank you for letting me help you. Otherwise, those are the biggest things that you have to work on. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them behind in the League of Legends section in my Discord. Alright, thanks benzamin, and have a good day.